Hi friends, Andrea here again. I am adding to our crochet videos, this time covering our double crochet. I'm going to be working off of these stitches that were originated as the chain, and then there are 2 rows of a single crochet. I'd like you to see a comparison of the two as you progress. And so double crochet doesn't necessarily mean it's double hard, it's more complicated. It's just the concept of it, and you'll understand very soon why. So where I left off at the last video is I did 1 extra crochet because I was doing 1 extra chain because I was adding 1 bit of height for a single crochet. Because I'm now doing a double crochet, I want to make sure I have 2 extra chains. So I'm adding double the height. Now again, I'm working back into this V I keep referring to, which is these 2 stitches on the top. And I even mentioned in the last video too, every once in a while you'll see these patterns and these other stitches that'll say a half double or work into the back stitch, things like that. It's a neat textural design. That's for another time, another place. But in this case, I've got my 2 chains. I'm working right to left because I'm crocheting right-handed. I've got my yarn tucked through my fingers and my little pinchers here, helping to keep that tension. So I'm working back into the first open stitch, not the one that it originated from. And then this time, the original first single crochet, I would go through these 2, the top 2, and I would grab it and pull through. It's the same concept. There's one little addition. This time I'm doing what I call a yarn over. In the instructions of a pattern, it will say YO, standing for yarn over. So what you're doing is adding 1 extra loop. This is where this little index finger helps out quite a bit to hold that loop. Now I go through that first stitch. So now I have 3 things on my hook. Oh my goodness, that seems so overwhelming. But just remember your concept. The first one is you're grabbing the yarn, attaching it. So there's your 1 stitch, or excuse me, your attachment. Then goes your first stitch. Your first stitch is just going through the first 2. Remember, this is double crochet. So that's your first crochet. 1, 2. Okay, look at the height that added very, very quickly. Let me go back to that. We're going to repeat this. We're going back into the next stitch, but I have to yarn over, puncture through there, attach it. First pull through is to attach. Then it's 1, go through the first 2 stitches, and then it's 2. There's your height. And continue, yarn over. Now I'm going back through the next one, attach it by pulling it through, gain 1 crochet going through the first 2 loops, gain the second crochet going through the next loop, yarn over, go through the next stitch, attach it through the 1, pull through the first 2 for your first stitch, and through all of them at the end, and repeat. I can almost promise you, don't beat yourself up. You are going to forget to yarn over at some point in time in this first row. If this is the first time you've done it, it happens to all of us. Oops, see, I just about did it myself. So remember that tidbit I gave you in the last video. It's always so good to pause, look back, see how we're doing, and you'll find out real quick, because all of a sudden you're going to have this really short one hanging out in there, that you missed something. Now I just want you to be reflective for a moment. These are single crochets. They have these little beautiful tucks that are very evenly distributed, almost knotted like. And then you've got the double crochet, gorgeous change of texture. You also have a little bit more of an open gap or negative space in there too. So while you're gaining height, you also are now getting spaces in between it so that you can continue to gain. So once you get this concept, it's so neat to think about what type of stitches you could even create. So once you get the whole idea is simply, I gotta get connected to my originating piece, and then where I'd go from there is up to me. It's just a matter of continuously making sure it's interconnected. So you could do a triple crochet. I think you see where I'm going with this. In that case, you would have to yarn over 2 times to add an extra loop in there. but we won't get ahead of ourselves. Right now we're just worrying about the double crochet or yarn over, get attached, pull through the first 2 loops, pull through the last 2 loops, and so on and so forth. Let's finish this row out. And let me do my little end of row reminder. This is that little awkward step where it doesn't really look like there's exactly a stitch there, but you can obviously tell that there's something missing and something needs to happen. So you do need to find a way to get into that corner space. Still do your attachment through the first 2, through the last 2. And that is double crochet, my friends. You'll continue with the same concept as you did before, this time chaining 2 to add your height for the next row, and then you'll rotate to continue to work in the same direction. Now that you've done this a little bit, I hope you're getting to the point where you're realizing the therapeutic benefits of the crochet craft, and I'm excited to hear about all your creations that come from this. Take care.